We are looking at the Wayside Pulpit of the Unitarian Church in Montreal. Essentially a church sign that displays various sayings and so on. Most Unitarian Universalist churches have a similar sign. It is not the sign that identifies the church. They have another one for that purpose. So this is just to, put out, as I said, various sayings and so on. And what we're looking at right now, if I'm not mistaken, is the mission statement of the Unitarian Church in Montreal. Now, I've already noted this on various other occasions, but we're going to go through the motions again for this video. One thing I like about the video right now is that there's a lot of shadow falling onto the mission statement of the Unitarian Church of Montreal, which I think is very appropriate from a symbolic perspective, because what we're about to point out is how this mission statement is completely devoid of any moral substance and can be in fact interpreted in a very negative way. So let's read it. Just letting a bus go by. Let's read it intact. Our spiritual community welcomes, nurtures, inspires, challenges. Together we take action in the world. So yeah. Now of course, Montreal Unitarians in their minds, think in terms of positive things. But there's, as I said, zero qualifying moral content here. So let's try this. Our spiritual community welcomes immoral and unethical and outright evil behavior by our members. Our spiritual community nurtures immoral, unethical, and outright evil behavior by our members. Our spiritual community inspires immoral, unethical, and even evil behavior in our members. Our spiritual community challenges people who challenge the unethical, immoral, and evil behavior of our members. Together, we take immoral, unethical, and at times even evil action in the world. So, yeah, it's unfortunate, but I think maybe the Unitarian Church of Montreal might want to rethink its mission statement, because in fact, it does exactly what I just said. The Unitarian Church of Montreal does at times welcome immoral, unethical, and even evil behavior on the part of its members. The Unitarian Church of Montreal at times does in fact nurture immoral, unethical, and even evil behavior on the part of its members. Oh, and did I forget to mention its clergy and other leaders? The Unitarian Church of Montreal may or may not actually inspire immoral and unethical and evil behavior, but it certainly allows it. There's no question that it allows it. It certainly, the Unitarian Church of Montreal itself may not inspire its members to steal my picket signs, physically assault me, insult me, and so on, but it certainly allows these things to happen. It certainly doesn't speak out against them. And yes, the Unitarian Church of Montreal has repeatedly challenged my own challenges of the immoral and unethical and borderline criminal and actually criminal and yes, at times outright evil behavior of some of its members. And together, and I really do mean together, like as a community, Montreal Unitarians have in fact taken action in the world that can be described as unethical, that can be described as immoral, that can be described as, well, I don't know if the whole community is criminal per se or has done criminal things, but certainly leading members of the community have done things that are borderline criminal and outright criminal, and this is being allowed by the community. So they made the community as a whole may not have taken the action, but they certainly allowed their highest level leaders to do it. So yeah, I think this mission statement, to borrow a word from Reverend Ray Drennan, is meaningless. it's just, as I said, it can be interpreted in a positive way. It can be, and that's no doubt how they intend it, but it can also be interpreted in a very, very negative way that is actually also a very, very truthful way. So I've definitely, whenever I see this mission statement of the Unitarian Church of Montreal, I get a good chuckle out of it, because it just, once again, exposes the foolishness, quite frankly, of so many Montreal Unitarians that, they must have worked on this for weeks and even months before they finally approved of this mission statement, and nobody said, hey, wait a minute. Nobody said, I just got a wave from someone. I think it's someone who knows me personally, but the truck that just went by, they said hey and waved, but I think I know who it is. So anyway, as I said, this is a mission statement. They don't just pull a mission statement out of their ass, if I can be a little bit rude. They usually devote some thought. They usually probably go through several different drafts and finalize it eventually after, as I said, weeks and months of thought and discussion and so on. And here they come up with a mission statement that is essentially meaningless. What do they welcome? What do they nurture? What do they inspire? What do they challenge? What kind of actions do they take in the world? And as I said, there's zero question that members of the Unitarian Church of Montreal together take actions in the world that are in fact immoral, that are in fact unethical, that are in fact borderline criminal, that are in fact criminal. And yes, we can even go one step further and say that together Montreal Unitarians take action in the world that is just plain evil. On that note, we're wrapping up this video, but I do think the Unitarian Church of Montreal might want to rethink its mission statement.